Hi, welcome to Forge and Anvil. I'm Alan Rogers. Our show today is about horseshoeing. We'll be seeing people make one horseshoe at a time, fine pieces of craftsmanship. We'll also be visiting people who have figured out ways to make lots of them at a time. One of the largest forges in the world, Cooper Tool, makes more horseshoes than anybody, and we'll be looking at their operation. We'll visit a specialty shoer, Curtis Hamilton in South Carolina, who makes shoes for walking horses and stacks the walking horses up on pads. A real intricate operation. We'll take a look at that. One of our projects for today involves making a horseshoe that you can put on your horse or hang over your door, whatever you want to do. We're here at the Chicopee Woods Agricultural Center in Gainesville, Georgia, for a horseshoeing competition. Horseshoers, who are more properly known as farriers, get together and compete on how quickly they can make really fine shoes and how well they do the job. Before you can even start to make a horseshoe, though, you've got to cut your steel. And the tool you use to do that is called a hardy. Let's go back to the forge and I'll show you how to make one. To make a simple cutting tool called a hardy, we take a piece of leaf spring, 2 inches by 2 inches, whatever the width of your leaf spring is, and we heat it up, heat one edge of it to a bright orange heat. What we're going to do is put a bevel on it, a cutting edge, get it up to heat here, put a little bit better edge on it, get it to a nice yellow heat. And then temper it in your quenching tub. Now we covered tempering with the Wades, that Wade tool, and also with Jeff Moore when we made our chisel project. So we'll let those examples stand. Refer to those in the other program. We're going to weld this to the cutting blade of our hardy. And to do that, you just want to sit it down here and set your 1-inch piece in the center, about 1 inch from the sharp edge. Then clamp it off and weld it down here, run a bead here, and run a bead across here. You want as much strength as you possibly can get into it, because it's going to be taking a lot of abuse. And there we have a really good cutting tool. Now the way you'll use this is put it in the hardy hole of your anvil, like so. And you're going to be cutting a light piece of stock like this 1/4-inch bar here. What you can do is just score the piece. Lay it on the hardy, strike it. Turn it over, and strike it. And then you can continue to bend on over and break it off. And that will serve as an effective cutting tool, a very simple one that you can use in situations where you don't really want to use a power tool. For the backyard blacksmith just starting out, one of the best sources of tools and supplies is a farrier supply store. Many times the tools that a farrier uses are lighter and more portable. They're designed to go in the back of a truck. And so these are a good choice for someone who has to put their shop away and stash it in a garage or whatever. This is Willie Johnson of Georgia Farrier Supply. How you doing, Willie?
Good, fine. How are you?
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Tell us, somebody's just starting out smithing and they need some tools to work in the fire. What do y'all sell that could help them do that?
Well, we have a variety of things that are available to the blacksmith. We are a farrier supply store, but in the blacksmithing areas, we would have a pair of fire tongs, such as these, that would come in 1/4 inch to maybe 5/8 inch sizes, to holding the different sizes of the bar stock.
Right.
We also have an assortment of hammers of various weights and lengths of hammer handle that would be essential in forging steel.
This is a, what, a 2-pound hammer?
That would be a 2-pound hammer. We have a ladder hammer for doing delicate work such as leaves, candle holders, candelabras. We would use a lighter hammer, of course. Depending on the amount and the size of steel that you want to move would depend on your hammer.
Right.
We also have a hardy, which would be used for cutting and shearing bar stock. As with any blacksmith, you got to have the iron to start with.
Right.
So you have bar stock of various lengths, widths, and sizes, square, rectangle shape for making gates, whatever. Also required would be an anvil.
Right.
This particular anvil here is 88 pounds. It has an aluminum base, a steel face to it. most blacksmithing anvils run anywhere from 125 pounds up.
Right.
Whereas the farrier's anvil would be 125 pounds down.
Right. Which is better for somebody working in their backyard because they can pick it up and put it under their workbench or move it around.
Right.
You know.
We also have forges. I don't have one available to show you. We have two types of forges: a gas forge and a coal forge. Coal forge, of course, burns coal. The coal that we sell comes out of we buy it out of Kentucky. The gas forge runs off propane.
Right.
If you aren't concerned with your metal burning up and you're doing just mild steel, the gas forge would work very appropriately.
Right, and it's cleaner too a little bit.
It's a lot cleaner, a little bit safer, but it doesn't get as hot.
Right.
The coal forge will increase the temperature and get real hot.
We're showing people how to build a coal forge in the series, and a lot of the times a real problem is locating these kind of tools just to get started. Anyway, are there a lot of farrier supplies around as compared to blacksmith supplies stores?
There are more farrier supply stores than blacksmith supply stores. Centaur Forge in, I believe it's Wisconsin, is the only blacksmith supply store that I'm aware of. But I'm sure there are others available. John C. Campbell is a blacksmithing school that offers a lot of instruction in blacksmithing.
Do y'all have these hammers? Are there many tool makers that are making specifically tools for farriers, forged tools for farriers?
There are people out there, Jay Sharp, Idaho, Frank Turley in New Mexico. They make tools for specific trades such as the blacksmithing and the farrier.
Because they're beautiful tools, they really are. Well, thank you, Willie. Appreciate it.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Sure do have a lot of tools here.
Yeah, thank you.
Where's this one made? Anvil brand.
There are thousands of different kinds of horseshoes, and a farrier has to learn to make all different sorts, as we saw in the farriers competition. In those competitions, you make shoes for draft horses or for racing horses or for quarter horses. Most horses use the same kind, however, unless they're in a situation where they need some sort of correction, if they're injured or if they have a physical deformity that requires a certain kind of shoe. But on the whole, most horses wear a flat plate, like this one here. This is the project for today. I'm going to show you how to make one of these. I've made thousands of them over the years because this is where I got my introduction into blacksmithing, was making horseshoes. To start with, you need a piece of 3/4 by 1 quarter mild rolled steel, flat bar. The same kind of steel that we use for everything else. 1/4 by 3/4 works the best for a plain flat shoe like this, for say a quarter horse or any sort of general purpose animal. As far as tools go, of course, you need tongs to hold the work, and your hammer and anvil. And you also need a couple of specialized punches that you only really use for horseshoeing. This is called a header. It makes the nail head hole in the shoe. And this is called a pritchel. This actually makes the hole in the shoe where the shaft is these two. They're easy to make. There are directions to look how to make each piece. Start with, say, you take a piece of 1/4 by 3/4 10-20 mile steel, about 11 or 12 inches long. Horses wear size shoes just like people. And this would be an aught, a 0. It's 11 inches. The first part of the process is to heat about 2 inches of the steel on the end of the bar to make a heel. There, get it to a bright orange heat, then come straight down on the corner, flattening into that sort of shape right there. Don't swell too much more than the width of your hammer and use the flat surface of your hammer. That's all there really is to a heel. To make your toe bend, you position your tongs on the outside of the heel. Of course you made the heel, it had to slant in one direction or another. The flat part will be the inside of the shoe, and then the angled part of the heel will indicate the outside of the shoe. Get it good and hot. So you want to grab it on the outside of the shoe because you're going to be making the interior toe bend with the round part of the hammer. And that ought to do it. You can see the heat is fairly centralized. It's a little bit
off center, but we can compensate for that. And really, making a toe bend isn't much more complex than that. You don't want to go too far into it. Because I have a lot of heat in this wing here, I'm going to go ahead and bend it over a little bit. Now, once you've made your toe bend, you want to heat one of the wings of the shoe to make the curve on the other side. Light stock like this doesn't take long at all. Okay, you see you have this wing good and hot. Bring it over the bick of your anvil and just bring it down. Till you get a nice even crescent. Excellent. Now you want to heat the other wing. As you can see, you try to get a nice smooth flow. It doesn't really have to be very exact at this point. You just want a nice smooth curve because you'll make your adjustments on the spot as you fit the horse. All right, I've got the general shape right. There aren't very many horses that have such a wide foot. The next process is to heat one of the wings so that we can punch nail holes in it. So we want to get it hot from about the center of the toe back to right about there. Okay, this one's ready to punch. Take your header, heading tool, punch a hole. Punch your pritchard holes, your nail shank holes again through your pritchard hole. And then you can cool it. People love this because you're quenching your shoe. And you have a horseshoe. Put it over your door, put it on your horse. We've shown you how to make horseshoes one at a time and several at a time. Now we're going to take you to a place where they make thousands of them. Joe, how you doing?
Oh, all right. Nice to see you. Good to see you.
We're here with Jarl Carson at Cooper Tool Company in Monroe, North Carolina. Jarl, y'all make a lot of horseshoes here, don't you?
Yes, we do.
It's a big
Very proud of
operation.
that. Making about 4 million pounds a year.
Wow, that's an awful lot. That seemed like that would cover all the horses in the country. Are you one of the biggest?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Really.
Claim to be the biggest.
All right. I make shoes myself, and when I started shoeing horses, Diamond was just about the only shoe you could get, pre-made shoe. Yeah. Are there advantages to using a pre-made shoe like that? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we can make them cheaper than you can.
Right.
And many of them are cold workable, or I guess we're selling that they all can be reworked cold. Mm-hmm. The over 75 different sizes.
75.
You can buy a shoe that'll just about fit a horse. Mm-hmm. With a little bit of modification.
Yeah, I've found them to fit real well. Usually you spread the wings or the heels a little bit. It's about all you have to do. With that many different types, there have to be special purpose shoes too, I guess.
Absolutely.
Like for,
yes, there are.
Ice applications, cold weather.
Racing shoes, barrel racing pole.
Well, these guys that are making these shoes for you, are they blacksmiths? Did they come here as trained blacksmiths? Or?
No, they're not. They're relatively untrained people, and we train them how we want them to work, and they've been working out real well for us. We call them forgers.
Forgers. Well, how many forgers do you have operating here? You have a whole bunch.
We have 7 right now. We want to get 11 going first part of the year.
So it's really to the advantage for a working farrier to have this kind of resource, because you really do.
Yes, well.
You couldn't possibly make all your own handmade shoes. Do you make tools like farriery tools as well? Or?
Yes, the whole farrier line will be made here in Monroe.
Well, the metal that you use in your horseshoe, now I use a 10-20 mile steel and just buy bars that are already flattened out, punch holes in them and shape it. Is it the same kind of steel generally?
Basically, same steel. You bet.
Do you have? Is your factory? I wonder about supply, because I have a supply problem sometimes. You know, y'all. You must buy humongous quantities of steel to do this.
Hundreds of tons a year, and we haven't got a problem with that volume. People like us.
Yeah, oh, that's for sure. It's certainly a famous company. And Cooper used to be a separate company, as I understand it. Cooper and Diamond went together a year or so ago?
About a year ago, and
They promised us we're going to be many changes coming and we're going to get bigger, and that's happening.
Yeah, well, we're glad to have you in the South. I know that. There's a lot of. Have you noticed in terms of supplies? Are there more horses in the South? More working professional farriers? I really don't know.
I'm not in the sales end of it, but that's what I hear. The main part of the horses are this part of the country.
Down here. Yeah. Well, the better weather and everything, I suppose, does it. I wouldn't want to try to keep a horse in the barn as much as you have to in the north. I've talked to.
So. You bet.
Well, we'd sure like to see how this works. Could you show us something?
You bet. Let's go up.
All right. This is a really beautiful facility to have here.
Yes, I'm glad the rain's held off for us.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
This is Bill Crowder, president of the Georgia Professional Farriers Association. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you.
Tell us, what's the purpose of having a farriers competition like you're having here at Gainesville today?
Well, the competition that we're having today is really part of an ongoing educational process that comes from the GPFA, the Georgia Professional Farriers Association, and we have like 4 different divisions here working at one time, and the divisions really go from a very basic forge work to the very articulate forge work in the hand-making shoes, creasing the shoes, making the bar shoes, the specialty shoes that are used on a lot of problem horses and a lot of show horses.
Yeah, this has been mostly forge work today. How important is it that a farrier be good with metal, working metal?
Well, of course, being able to make the shoe fit the foot instead of the foot fit the shoe is the name of the game in shoeing a horse. And to be able to fabricate that shoe to fit that particular horse and be able to fabricate a shoe that would fit any particular lameness or any problems, they're real individual problems on horses that take individual fabrications of a shoe that are unlike any other.
Right, every foot's different, every horse is different.
That's right, and to be able to take the steel, it's the reason for the forges and all. Of course, the steel is a lot more malleable when it's hot than when it's cold, naturally. But to be able to take that hot steel and form it the way that you want it to fit the foot in the certain particular situation that you need, it requires a great deal of skill.
Oh, the tolerances are very, very close. I mean, you have to get it so close.
Exactly.
How many of these shoers went to a school to learn horseshoeing?
Well, probably I would say about 75% of these here have gone to some type of formal school. This day and time, the farrier school is more prevalent than people would realize. There are probably 3 or 4 schools that I can think off the top of my head that are right here close in the southeast.
So it really feeds a lot of farriers into the equine industry.
Right. And of course, with the growth of the equine industry and the growth of the horse sport, has created a position that is very lucrative field in farriers. So for a shoer today, to make a good living, he has to be a competent, skilled farrier.
And that's what this kind of competitions in the AFA helps to do.
Right. Exactly.
Well, thanks a lot, Bill. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
This is Jason Tyso of Slough, England. He's a farrier from England who's here on a student exchange program. Welcome to the program, Jason.
Hello.
Tell us something about how you get to be a farrier in England. What's the process?
Initially, you have to find yourself a working master to train under. The apprenticeship lasts 4 years in all, and during that time, you work solely with your master, and you go to college on block release for between 8 and 10 weeks a year. Then at the end of the 4 years, you take your final examinations, and from there on, it's up to you whether or not you would like to either stay on with your boss or go and work for another fellow farrier, or alternatively, you could set up in business, or you could go as a freelance worker, which means that you travel around and work for different people as an individual self-employed person.
So a lot of different masters, you get a lot of input.
Yes, you would, yeah.
Is horseshoeing in America a lot different from horseshoeing in England?
The styles are a little bit different, obviously because there's a vast amount of different breeds here. We have generally sort of hunters and jumpers and pleasure horses, while here in America you have a lot of gated horses, which is a totally different.
Totally different,
yeah. I'd never come across them before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, have you enjoyed being in the United
Yeah,
States?
it's been a tremendous opportunity for me.
Yeah, well, maybe you can come back.
I hope to do so.
Well, thanks a lot, Jason.
That's okay, no
Good
problem.
talking to you. This is a bar shoe, and that's what they're making here. One of the most intense parts of the horseshoeing competition is to make a bar shoe because you have to weld the heels together. It's a very specialized shoe for a very specialized purpose. Someone else who makes very specialized shoes is Curtis Hamilton in Easley, South Carolina. Let's go visit his shop. So what are we going to be doing here today?
I want to just put a new package on this old horse. He just needs a little more, do a little more, need a little more back end, or we don't do it from the front end, you know what I mean?
How long have you had this rig?
Since 73.
73. Well, it's something. I'm kidding, you got a little bit of everything in there.
Just about. Most of the time, everything except something you need.
Oh, man. Little coal forge, got your little nails set up and everything. Goodness. You carry a welder with you? Yeah, there's a welder right there. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Good to see you, Ken.
Good. Hey, Curtis.
How about it,
doing?
Ken?
Y'all get ready for Roy.
All right. And that band stays on all the time when he's working and everything?
They loosen it when he's standing in the stall.
Uh-huh.
But then they go back to working and they snug it back.
Uh-huh.
This takes the shock off the nail, protects his foot.
That holds, yeah, keeps the foot from being stressed by the weight of the pad and the shoe. How much does all that pad and shoe weigh?
About 2.5 pounds.
2.5 pounds? Is there's regulations on the amount of weight a horse can carry?
No,
there's
there's
not?
regulation on the shoeing,
Yeah.
on the length of the shoe and the height of the heel,
Uh-huh.
and the amount of pad go on. You can only have a third as much pad as you got foot. In other words, if you got a 4-inch natural toe, you have 2 inches of pad.
Uh-huh.
And the package has got to be an inch longer in the toe than it is the heel. Keep them getting them too uncomfortable, see.
So that toe length is real critical because that tells you how much pad you can carry on your horse, I guess. So you're going to be taking some toe off this horse here.
I'm going to take some toe off this horse.
So that's
take some pad off too.
taking a little bit of a chance, I guess. And then what'll that do, taking toe off? That'll make him step higher? Or?
Not necessarily. This horse is just a little bit square going, which is close to a trot.
Yeah.
These horses are natural born pacers.
Right.
And what you're doing by putting the pads on, you're breaking up the pace so he'll ride smooth.
Uh-huh.
pretty nice old hog.
Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job, isn't he? Well, thanks a lot, Curtis. We appreciate it.
Enjoy it.
To obtain your personal copy of Alan Rogers' Forge and Anvil companion book, including project details and expanded videotapes of Forge and Anvil projects, send $15 for the book, $35 for tapes, or $39.95 for both. Call 1-800-359-4040 for credit card orders. Make checks payable to the University of Georgia and send them to Forge and Anvil, University of Georgia, Georgia Center, Athens, Georgia, 30602-3603.
We hope you've enjoyed our show about horseshoeing today. I know I have, because I began my career as a blacksmith by shoeing horses. If you want to find out more about going to a horseshoeing school or about where to find supplies, just get our companion volume that goes with this series. We have lists of suppliers and schools in the back. Join us next time on Forge and Anvil.